Waka, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch Transformers review. And yes, if you have noticed, I have not made some content for about a week now. I've been taking a little break following the end of another hobby, but we are back in action. And yeah, we're waiting for some new product to come in, so we're going to kind of do a few classic rewind reviews, and we're going to take a look at an oldie but a goodie. We're taking a look at MP-20 by Takara, the Transformers masterpiece Wheeljack. And of course, this is the Diaclone color scheme. Little story behind why I purchased this. So this is actually one of my first masterpiece Transformers purchased after MP-44. I believe I purchased Wheeljack and Prowl at the same time, and I found Wheeljack on eBay. I was looking at the MP-20 and the MP-20 Plus. Keep in mind, this was in the early stages of my collection, and I honestly like the colors and the Lancia livery a bit better than the MP-20 Plus, even though now I kind of wanted MP-20 Plus because I finally set on going more of the tune route. But this is still a beautiful looking paint scheme. So let's start off by taking a look at the box real quick. Whoa, get Mr. Wheeljack off there. He's kind of falling off the table. And of course, we have a nice product shot of Wheeljack on there in his combine, a beautiful Lancia Stratos. Wheeljack has my favorite alt mode of all the Autobots. I love the Stratos. Too bad he doesn't make it to season 3. And there, of course, he is in robot mode. MP-20 Wheeljack, he is the Cybertronian mechanical engineers, yeah. And then, of course, we have a nice side shot of the Lancia Stratos Turbo by Takara, Transformers masterpiece on the top. If you didn't know that it was a Transformers masterpiece, you sure do now. And then, of course, on the side, you got Wheeljack in his robot mode with all his accessories. And on the back, you got a bunch more product shots of masterpiece, how it used to be, how it's going. And of course, with MP-10 back in the day buffet, you got all his accessories right there. Of course, MP-20 didn't come with much. We're okay with that, and that's it for the box. We'll move that off to the side. Then we'll take a quick look at his instructions. And of course, they're the single page Takara type. They got the little diagrams right here. They got all his little accessory diagrams. And then if we flip it around, you can see his little all the diagrams, all the instructions, all written in a language that I cannot read, but there we go nevertheless. And last but not least, we of course have his collector card, Transformers masterpiece. A nice animated shot of Wheeljack. Looks really good. I like it. MP-20 Wheeljack. And then we have his stats, and wow, he's like got a lot of high stats, so he's like super smart and probably a badass on the battlefield. And there we go for the cards. And without further ado, let's jump into that beautiful, beautiful vehicle. And I absolutely love this car. Rally Champion Lancia Stratos. Again, such a beautiful vehicle. And RIP Lancia. They still are around for all you car fans, but they are a mere shadow of their former self. No longer making beauties like this or the Delta Integrale. But of course, we have the nice livery up front, Lancia. And then, of course, livery right here. I don't know what that says. Not even going to try. I got the nice splitter right up ahead. Looks like this is a mix of paint and some plastic, but still looks really good. I got the nice green and red paint job for all the livery going all the way to the back of the nice louvers on the back here. Big spoiler, look at that, and a nice red painted for the taillights. Red painted on the wheels. They are plastic tires. He does roll very nicely. And then of course you got the nice venting detail up here, and of course the side mirrors, they do perk out. These are separate pieces, by the way. He does actually come up, I was going to save this for accessories, but he does come with a spare pair in case you lose these, but these actually hold in pretty well. So there you go for that. And yeah, that is just an absolutely glorious vehicle mode. Now you can of course store his accessories in vehicle mode, so we're going to talk about those right now. He does of course come with his handgun. It's painted in silver. I got some nice little details right here. Of course, this is before they went slavish G1, so it has a bit extra details. Got some nice panels and whatnot, some venting, and it looks very, very cool. And of course, we'll show tabs into the hand, but you can store it of course in vehicle mode. He's got a little tab slot right down here, and all you're going to do is you're going to bring it, and you're just going to use the tabs that it tabs into his hand. And it looks like an exhaust pipe on the back, and that's actually pretty cool. You know how I like my weapons stored in vehicle mode, out of sight, out of mind, and he will still roll just fine with that on. And I think this is the best method of storing it. And then of course you do have his shoulder cannon, or what will become his shoulder cannon when he's in robot mode. And of course this has really no hidden spot in vehicle mode, so you do have to take it off. I know, parts storing, whatever. The missile doesn't doesn't fire, but it does shove in. There's keyed, and it does have the key right on the side here. So you just plug that back in, and you can store this in vehicle when you have like a little panel right here, and that'll just plug it right in there, and that looks ridiculous as ever. But nevertheless, you got some vehicle storage if you want some vehicle storage for your weaponry. And then we'll bring it in with Masterpiece Streak for a nice comparison. Now, if I recall, the Stratos is a relatively small car, so this scale may actually work out still pretty well. So you can kind of see how these guys work out, pretty standardized for a Takara car bot. But nevertheless, there you go for a quick comparison. Alright, so let's get Mr. Wheeljack transforming up into his robot mode, and like most of these early Takara Masterpiece transformations, this is a relatively fun and enjoyable transformation, similar to the G1 toy, which he kind of looks like the G1 toy because he's in his little Diaclone mode. So what we're going to start with is your legs. We're going to do the legs first. They basically tab in. They're in the hood form. They will tab in right up here and right back here by the door. So what we want to do is we kind of want to push down at each of the doors, and you can kind of also break them in half just a little. These tabs just go right into here on the back of what will become his chest, and then of course you can push down on the front, and of course that will make the legs kind of come untabbed. They just tab together right along here. And now that this is all free, what we can do is we can kind of rotate it down. You can see it's rotating on this little armature right here. This is going to become the waist. You can rotate it all the way down just like that, and then you're going to plug it in. You can see he's got a little tab right here, and that is going to tab right in just like that. Next up, what you can do is you could extend one of his legs. You can kind of bring the front end down, and you'll have to rotate this foot all the way around. Then you can see you got a little tab right here, and you're going to go into a little slot right on his foot just like that, and it'll kind of lock his foot into place. And next up, what you can do is you can kind of bring his door panel down, just kind of tabs in a little bit, locks in right on there. You can bring that down, and what you can do is you're going to rotate it around, and you can bring up the foot piece right here, and this is going to kind of cover up his foot right here, and you're going to tab in. You'll notice you have like a little circular connection. It's going to go right into a port right on here, just like that, and there we go. And that is one leg all done, and we're going to do the other one really quick. So bring down the other leg. You can bring down the foot, and then what you're going to do is you're going to rotate this all the way around. You're going to tab in the foot to the slot. You're going to bring this down. You're going to rotate it inwards, and then you want to make sure that this tab lines up right along here, and it's going to look just like that. And there we have his legs done. Let's go to the top. So similarly to the legs, his top is held in by this superstructure up here. Just going to take and untab at the top and kind of move this roof panel out of the way. It's kind of spring loaded. You're also going to take this piece and you're going to untab it from the wings and move them down. You can see it's got two tabs right on here, and you just kind of bring this back. And next up, what you want to do is you want to kind of bring these two pieces of his back end out and bring them down and around like this, and just kind of get them out of the way. And then once they're on a diagonal right here, you can kind of use the wings on the hinges. Just watch out, they are transparent plastic. I kind of leave them where they're at and just kind of snake them over just like this, and you can see they are at a stop right here. So we can do the other one. We'll snake that around and over just like that. Next up, what we can do is we can open up his chest cavity right here and bring up his head like that, and now we can close his chest cavity up just like that. And then what we can do is you're going to leave this piece up like this, and you're going to bring it down, and as you do, you want to kind of flip over his front end, and this can kind of be a pain. You can bring his arms out real quick, and hold on, it's kind of, oh, there we go, got it. And it should look just like this, and it doesn't really tab in. It looks like it should, but it does not. So it just kind of sits like this. And then what you can do is you can kind of bring the back piece up, and it's going to tab in through a slot right on the back here. And that's going to kind of close everything up on the back just like that. And now we'll do his arm. So you're going to take his arm, you're going to rotate it all the way around, and then what you're going to do is you can kind of rotate the hand out like this, and you can rotate the wing piece up like this, and you could rotate the hand around like this, and there you have one arm. Bring his wings up, and next up for the last one, again, these like to come out, that's why they don't really tab in, at least I don't think they do. You rotate the hand around, you can kind of bring this piece over like this, bring his hand out just like this, flip this in, turn his hand around like this, and first off, we got to give him his little accessory because part of the transformation, of course, it plugs in. You can plug it into either side, and it plugs in right here. And like magic, there we have MP-20 Wheeljack in his robot mode. So let's take a look at Wheeljack, and yeah, this looks really good. Nice face. Again, I love how it has the details on his little earpieces. You can see the blue eyes back there. I love that. Beautiful painted eyes. Fully painted head, it looks like. Looks really, really good. And then, of course, you have the shoulders here. The only thing I don't like is, again, these tend to flop about. They aren't the most secure thing, so you got to watch when moving the arms. Most of all, it's pretty okay. And then, of course, you have the transparent plastic for the glass on his chest area. You got some unpainted plastic for the waist. Nothing wrong about that. It is a dry black. And then, of course, the legs are pretty well kibble-free. I mean, overall kibble-free robot. You can see he pretty much covers up really well. Got a little bit of a gappage right back here, but I'm not too worried about that. And again, I really think this robot mode stands the test. You got the nice transparent plastic for the wings. You can see the nice molded detail in there. It looks extremely good. And again, as I previously said, you can plug this cannon into either side. I keep it on here because if I recall, it was always on his right side if you're facing him from behind. But yeah, overall, just a really good looking robot. And we'll get into his articulation real quick. So the head can look up a little bit, pretty much looks just a little bit down, and it can swivel all the way around if you wanted to. You can really adjust the wings however you want. I leave them at the stop position. The arms are on a friction joint. I don't even think he has any ratchets, and it does go all the way around. It can go all the way out like this, and the bicep does have a swivel. He does have a nice elbow bend that'll get you 90 at the elbow, and of course the wrist is on a he does have all his fingers on a base hinge at the knuckle, and of course he will swivel his wrist. He does have a waist swivel. He can do a nice fusion kick on a friction, can do a nice fusion back kick, holy crap, and ninja Wheeljack, and he can only go out that far because it's hindered right at about here. He does get a 90-degree kneel bend. He does have thigh swivel, and the toe does tilt down, does tilt a little back up, and does tilt inward just a bit on a rocker. And that is some awesome articulation. And of course, he's already gone through his accessories, but he does come with his gun. Of course, you see the tabs. You already know how this works. He's got a tab connection in his hand, and this will plug in just fine. There we go. I say just fine. I have a little issues. And of course, he can hold his gun just nicely. I kind of wish, being the engineer, he would have come with some tools, but this was in the early days of Masterpiece. So, and you can see what I mean with these not securing. So, of course, this is all he really comes with. But nevertheless, I'm always a fan of any accessories they can give. And of course, you know, you can purchase his immobilizer and, of course, the other tool, I forget, separately if you want those accessories for him. But there you go for his robot mode. It looks really, really good. And for a quick comparison, and we've had Wheeljack in a few comparisons, namely with the Dinobots, so we're going to get him in with just a quick one. And of course, we'll bring in the boss himself, Optimus Prime MP-44. We'll bring in MP-39 Sunstreaker so you can kind of see where the collection went, and then we'll bring in a Fans Toys mini bot. We'll bring in Hunk, aka Brawn, and again, that just looks absolutely cool. You can see how that works out. Lovely array of colors, and he fits right in as well he should. So there you go for that. So let's summarize, and there we have it for Transformers Masterpiece MP-20 Plus Wheeljack by Takara Tomy. Had to adjust the camera there. And yeah, bottom line, this mold really stands up, I feel. I see a lot of comments on public forums and whatnot on social media of how, oh, a third party should really take this on and whatnot. And while I would probably buy a Fans Toys version, I certainly think this still stands up. The paint is really nice. It's got a lot of solid articulation. None of the joints, I've had this for a couple years now, the joints still feel nice and good despite not having any hard ratchets or anything like that. Transformation, fun and enjoyable like it should be. I still think this stands up as a prominent masterpiece action figure, and it looks good in your collection. And of course, if you don't like the Diachrome colors, you can go for the plus colors, which give you the true accurate figurine at a bit more of a premium price. That being said, as far as where to get this guy, private sales, I haven't seen this guy at retail for a while. You can probably check Amazon. I've seen him up on social media. People are regularly selling him out of their collection, and his plus brother. His plus brother still, of course, a little bit less common, but you can find him if you are looking. You still be able to get them for a decent price, but of course, I'll put a link in the description below for the Chosen Prime for any other Transformers stuff that you might be interested in as well. That being said, if you found this review fun and informative, consider hitting that like button down below. Also consider subscribing to my channel. We are growing 440 strong. Let's see if we can get to 500 by the end of 2023. Either way, we're going to have a lot of fun, and I'm going to keep the reviews coming. So that being said, I am going to close this review out. By the way, follow me on TikTok. I am doing quick talk reviews. This guy will be up very shortly. And that being said, I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.